doing tough things makes you tough. That's it. It's so simple. Sure. If you turned off the power grid, 80 to 90% of all Americans die.
Yeah, in what period of time?
It's like a year.
What's the most dangerous mission you've been on?
Afghanistan withdrawal. You can't fake your way to that.
No.
You're
it's
gonna...
the blood, sweat, and tears.
All right, we're on you, Brian.
Oh, shit. There goes the neighborhood. We got the infamous Tim Kennedy. We got Mr. Josh Castle.
A little less infamous.
Yeah, but you're still just as important
levels
in different ways.
I'm here. I'm at this table.
You're here at this table. It's not an easy table to get to. We had to go through like 7 locked doors.
It's true. And a Wild West town.
Security is important.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so entry-proof film on the windows, exterior doors on everything inside and outside. We have the key fob pass cards for everything. So,
good luck.
Yeah.
So then can you explain to me why I had to get a new phone and a new computer just from knowing you?
Oh, yeah. So about that.
That whole thing.
Well, at least it was just Russian malware that was implanted via
fucking .ru flashed before my eyes.
For the people that don't know, what is .ru?
I believe that is the official domain of Russia.
That's right. Yeah, so the .com or .org or .edu for us, when you see that .ru,
you got a problem.
Yeah, you know that you have messed up.
Well, not necessarily, unless you messed up because you clicked on a link that you thought was from your friend, and instead it flashed a .ru address.
Is Carl really any of our friends?
I thought so, but clearly not.
Not. The other time I was traveling in Eastern Europe, and phone connected, and everything of mine got
compromised.
Yeah, gross. My laptop,
So did you go without comms the rest of the trip?
Yeah. We're like doing hand-eye signals.
Well, they tell me there's a new phone that solves all of this.
Yeah, unplugged phone.
Does it work? Have you tried it?
Big fan of it. I have that. I mean, should I just
show it to us? Jesus Christ.
It's the size of that case.
Yeah.
So you take the whole case with you?
Just so you know, like, I'm not a psychopath.
About that much.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you got a whole crate of them.
What the fuck do you do with that many?
Why did I buy one?
I'm not gonna give you a $1,000 phone. You're not poor.
You don't know that. Times have been hard.
So do you use those when you leave?
I have, like, it's sitting in my truck right now. And it's really handy traveling overseas. It has its own hardware, has its own software, Libert OS, Libertas, which is kind of cool play. No Chinese technology, so all the hardware is sourced outside of that country that hates us and wants to destroy us. And
Who's that?
China.
I heard of them.
Yeah.
Heard of them.
China.
Once or twice.
Say it like that. Founder of the company, Eric Prince. Pretty.
Heard of him?
Yep.
Who's that fella?
Yeah, he ran that Blackwater company for a while. You know,
no big deal.
Security, they kind of know a little bit.
And I don't know. You know, the next generation of Princes are all like active special operations guys.
Meaning his literal progeny, or just? Yeah, I know. They just graduated some stuff. Very cool. He's a very proud daddy.
Yeah, he is such a great guy, and it's a pretty cool phone.
I agree. I just got one.
There's a little bit of a learning curve on how to use it, so you're using it in the way that in which it was designed.
Well, we just talked through a nuance there that I think, it's one thing if you're SF Tim, right? But if you're an average consumer or business person that does care about privacy, there is a bunch of nuance to understand about how it works.
Yeah, I hate that I just keep getting up and like
grabbing random shit.
I can walk you through, and this is what this is what I had to do with them. So the CTO guy, I was like, so like literal hardware specs. I was like, okay, what am I actually using here? So show me. So he sent, and this is their chief technology officer, gives me all physical design stuff, and then I say, okay, on the software side, how can I optimize, minimizing location data, making sure that nobody can access any of my data in an ad way? Because if you can use my ad ID, then you can figure out pattern of life. You can figure out pattern of life. You can
graph
predict,
data is abundant and easy to leverage. Yep.
So we'll
Well, I was more getting at though, like.
Well, Josh's concern was, what do you do when you need GPS?
Well, yeah. So literally just by default, right, it's done such a good job that you're not able to use Google Maps, which I don't know how to get out of my block without. So
he doesn't leave the house without.
But that's a misnomer. You can.
Yep.
Right? You just explained it to me.
Yeah. But should we change? At some point, I hope that we recognize how valuable our data is. And
just touching on that. Most people don't understand.
No, nobody has
their
that
data
idea.
is. And the privacy with it, and two-factor, and having a two-factor physical versus a text code, and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah,
And that's just surface level.
These people should be paying us for access to our information, where instead they are getting it for free and then selling it to everybody. And
we're talking about like using Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Google.
It doesn't matter.
Gmail,
Everybody on the planet Earth is selling your information.
Multiple times over. And getting to such a finite pattern of predictability about an individual, like they know when you're going to be impulsively buying. They know when you're
going to a conference in Midtown Manhattan to talk to shareholders
and where
you'll be. And so I mean, it's not innocuous, right? Like, there are real
too soon
potential for what?
That there's no way they do that. They found and arrested Tay as the dude.
Why? What makes you say that?
I don't know. It's too clean. Lone man with a manifesto, still had the stuff.
They're talking about a manifesto beyond just the bullet engravings?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. They found an actual manifesto published online or physical?
I don't know. It was headlines as I was walking back in from washing my hands post eating an entire chicken.
I seen it.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
That was a good chicken.
It was a great chicken.
Somehow I had one piece of chicken. It was all over my face. He had a whole chicken. It was nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
But he's also, he's a very unique individual.
Yeah, but I didn't see that. But so I think you're right. I
haven't dug into it yet, but those were like the headlines.
Two with a bow on it, like.
Yep.
But so what do you think? Do you think this, again, a lot of people are pretty unhappy with American healthcare. That's not that crazy of an idea.
They have to. As an employer, I'm furious at American healthcare.
And the price of American healthcare.
Trying to, we're struggling right now as a company to, it is cost prohibitive for, and it sounds so selfish, to provide insurance to employees because there's not enough margin for me to then sell products to people at a fair price. The two options are jack my prices up and to increase margin so I make more money so then I can pay insurance companies like my liability insurance and my employees healthcare coverage.
Yep.
Because there's not enough money.
Yep.
There's just not enough meat on the bones where I don't know what to do. Do I cut healthcare insurance for employees or do I go bankrupt?
No, because you're a decent dude and you wouldn't do that. But that's the position that they're putting us in. And now imagine if you're your employee dealing with a real medical condition or a sick loved one
and it's not covered.
Get that denied stamp and someone dies because of it. So that's where it's like,
a denied stamp that was generated via AI specifically to target people that had no other recourses.
So
that's epic level evil.
Is there any difference? I'm not condoning open murder in the street. But if this was an example of somebody that lost his wife or his daughter or something, right, because of that kind of callous, is there really any difference between pulling that trigger and stamping that paper?
Yeah,
I just ask, is there really any difference?
And I think the worst form of insult is indifference, and corporate. If you are talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of instances of complete indifference to an individual's life or a loved one's lives,
is there not culpability there? I'm not condoning murder.
Yeah.
Nor vigilante.
Well, but the whole point was so do you buy that it could literally just be a lone citizen that was wronged? So.
Yeah, because he had some back pain. I don't know.
Well,
maybe he lost
imagine, God forbid, somebody you love, your wife, somebody close to you is victimized by that. That could explain it away for me. No, why? No. Why?
Especially that quickly to find the guy.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, not even finding him. I'm just that story of that profile. Does that check out, or that doesn't feel right to you?
I'm I've seen patients get denied for stuff that they should clearly be approved.
Well, we all know that. I'm saying, but then just a person, not a Tim, you or I, just an average American, being able to then pull that off.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Think about it. They took someone close to you for whatever it is, hypothetically.
Oh, I get the motive. Yeah. No, I'd be right there.
To pull that off couldn't be that difficult.
Really?
Figure out the pattern of life. Tim talks about that all the time.
Like we're not looking at really pretty tradecraft here.
Well, you hear on one breath some analysts talking about the professionalism, and then in another breath you hear a separate analyst talking about absolutely no way.
I was like 10 feet away and shot the dude in the calf muscle.
That wasn't a statement?
Yeah, what assassin skills are we talking about here?
Or maybe he did that to throw everyone off. I don't know. So was that a veterinary gun?
And I'm 5 feet off?
I don't know. I mean,
that's crazy. Yeah, no, this is not some mastermind assassin.
I've dealt with plenty of business people that feign incompetence as a tactic, right? That make it look like they don't know what they're doing, right up until they butt fuck you in the deal, right? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like,
dropping hardware like a phone in an alleyway now, dropping stuff that could possibly have your DNA on it, like a water bottle, like just nah.
But do you think any of that is even legit?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I trust at this point.
You trust nothing.
I trust nothing that I read that comes from any media source that is not first person with supported non-AI video that I can run through something and be like, that's not AI.
So basically nothing.
Nothing.
So basically there's nothing we can trust anymore at all, anywhere.
And
we should all just go
everywhere.
Home. Yeah.
Okay. Or we just call Tim.
Yeah, or you...
But if he doesn't know which way is up...
Yeah, then we know one other person.
Yeah, I mean, look at that call that I was just on.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
He asked me for a piece of information. I was like, me? What the fuck am I going to tell you?
Well, I mean...
you might have a hunch.
Yeah, smart guy. Know a lot of people.
Ish, but the point being...
But that's the first person. Like, I'm going to go directly to a source and be like, do you know this? Yes. How do you know this? Got it. Show me how you know this. They'll be like, that's the order. And if I don't have that, then I just can't believe it right now.
Which is awesome. And I hope that in your world, right, that is the way things run on the military side of things. I can tell you when you reference that, like the people I know and the things I'm doing and all that, the closer I get, the higher I get, the more I'm seeing that even on the inside, it's still...
best guesswork.
No, we fucking don't know. Yeah. Which was a little unsettling because I thought everybody knew what was going on at certain levels, but it's...
Don't know.
No idea.
Pretty scary.
Anywho, let's talk about Tim.
Shore up.
Yeah. No one's coming to save you, all that. I listen, I hear you.
How you doing? I'm good. I like having you in Texas. Do you like having him in Texas?
I'm trying to get him to move.
Come on.
Which I think I need to.
Come on.
He got off the plane yesterday and he said, it's cold here. It's warmer in California. And I said, communism generates a lot of heat, buddy.
And then he walked out, it's 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Fucking last night, though, it was cold as shit.
We're mid-December. Well, it'll be cold in a couple of days. But that's one of my favorite things about, I wish it was cooler here. Your first summer here.
You're going to cry.
You're going to be, man, this is...
Worse than Dubai?
Not heat-wise, but it's a pretty powerful...
It's a little spicy.
Well, and like I was saying, you're not at the beach. So your instinct as an Angelino, right? Mine is in New York or whatever, is like that weather means flip-flops and a wife beater for all day, but you can't just walk around like that in Texas. It's not the beach, right?
No.
Red ants,
I
got scarring. Well, that's Tim. My whole legs are scarred from red ants at my house from walking around like that, just swarming me. And I realized really quick, like, I don't live at the beach. Yeah. Texas red ants are the worst fucking things ever.
They're nasty. They're hateful.
And they actually have venom, so when they bite you, it
burns a little bit.
You actually get like a little white head thing that raises up, and when fucking 20 of them bite you at once,
can you die?
I don't even die, but my lymph nodes in the inside of my thighs swell up like golf balls when they bite me because I have a reaction. So, but that's my home.
At least your balls don't swell up.
Oh,
could be worse.
Yeah, not in a bad way.
Could be worse.
Yeah, but that's Texas, man. It's not the beach.
It's not Australia where everything's trying to poison you, kill you. Yeah.
I haven't been.
Oh, yeah. But here it's just like...
It's Australia light.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like definitely worse than Cali or the Northeast.
This is Texas.
I didn't ever have to deal with my dog eating a coral snake is like I didn't ever, you just
water
don't know.
moccasins.
Yeah.
Cottonmouths.
Scorpions.
So this is what I'm going to get when
I
I'm
like
on the
scorpions.
I don't like them in my kid's room.
Good, fair. That's right.
But, you know, you learn. You put like, what are these, like cups on the crib feet so that they can't literally crawl up, and, you know, you adapt. Texas is worth adapting.
Sleeps in your bed.
That's true. But the crib is set up. If she ever sleeps in the bed,
then you're good.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still co-sleeping. I'm still figuring
out. Oh, I'm not. That was a pouty lip because I know my days are numbered. Of my daughter 2 nights ago, watching a Christmas Home Alone. It was one of the Home Alones, one of the many. I don't know. There's like 19 of them. It seems like
there's only one.
There's
really.
2. I'll take 2.
Yeah, no, that's
Home
right.
Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone in New York is great.
Those are both great. Yeah. President Trump. I mean,
I forgot all about that.
Trump's in it, and he's great in it too.
Doesn't he help him?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Those are the only Home Alones. You know,
so
whatever.
You're watching one of those.
3 through what? She was watching. I don't know which one.
Well, it's not Macaulay anymore after that one.
No.
Yeah.
With her older brother, and the bad guys scared her. So I was putting her to bed, would finish reading, and if one of my kids, there's just no element of fear in my life. And I was talking to a friend this morning that I was working out with, you know, his wife has like constant anxiety from fear, and she carries it every day. And I was like, how can you live like that? Like, I don't, I'm free of, like, prepared, I carry, you know, like I'm trained, my wife is set, you know, like our home is safe, her car is safe, the places that our kids go to school are safe. So not because we're over obsessing about those things, it's so that we can live without fear.
Sure.
Because like I've done everything like a rational person should do. And then I was just like, because I couldn't be empathetic or sympathetic to, you know, my friend's wife, who is on the opposite end of that spectrum, where she just carries that all the time. And I was like, that poor woman.
Oh, I get it, man. I got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Since becoming a father, it became...
Yeah.
You know, and again, like my girl, God bless her, but she, you know, she's not so comfortable driving, right? I bought her first car. Like she grew up in Boston, Singapore, she never had to drive. And so that's all fine. But now, like literally every time she goes out with that kid without me,
yeah,
I'm just, you know,
spinning.
Again, how many wrecks do I see every day just driving around town? Austin's got some of the worst drivers there are. Like we're terrible driving town. And my mind goes right there. Yeah. I get it, man.
Back to having the baby in the bed.
So the baby's in the bed.
2 nights ago,
right there.
The 5-year-old was like, I watched a scary show with bad guys. You know, like I'm scared. I was like, fantastic! Come to daddy's bed, snuggle with me. You know, like
never leave.
No,
stay here forever.
You know, and I'm like being the creepy dad as she's laying there, and you hear her like that rhythm of, you know, their heart rates are still just so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And
my daughter kind of sleeps this way.
And they're like little heaters.
Oh, yeah.
Like they generate so much heat. And their respirations, probably twice what ours are. You know, like if we're 12 to 20 or 10 to 20, whatever ours are, they're like 20 to 40. Yep. And
little hummingbirds.
Yes, just little fast hummingbirds. And I was just swooned, you know, but I know that those days are so finite now.
Well, that's why we were just talking, like I'm like boycotting travel lately.
Yeah,
you guys might be doing a few things without me altogether. Yeah. I trust this crew to handle things in my stead, but I'm totally there. Like, she's already gonna be 2.
Yeah,
I don't know where the fuck that went.
Yeah,
and like I'm trying to savor every second of it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
She had a sleepover this weekend.
At your house?
Yeah. Yeah. No, my kids don't sleep anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I'm not ready for that either. You never adapted.
What age are you cool with that?
Them sleeping over?
Yeah.
Never.
No, them sleeping out. Yeah.
Never. No.
There's not a single household.
I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just asking.
It's not about trust, because I have, I have friends that I explicitly trust with like the most intimate details of my life, to include like my family's lives. But it's things that they don't have control of. Like it's not their responsibility to take care of my daughter. It's my responsibility to take care of my daughter, and you can look at data. There's no data more compelling than the vulnerability of a little girl, up to adulthood, being assaulted. And how do you prevent that? Is being physically present. That's it.
You're giving me a lot more anxiety.
No anxiety. A little bit of preparation comes freedom and fearlessness.
And you've instilled that in your kids of, hey, you're sleeping here. Your friends can sleep here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like we parents stay over this weekend, because they subscribe to the same thing. So we'd like, big slumber parties. We had 8 people at our house this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Would you allow her to sleep over if you were there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, sleep over at my house. I got a few pests that we need to deal with. I got some rat wars of my own I need help with.
Oh, I'm here for that. So fun.
I got a cardinal also. That's easier because I got a psychotic cardinal smashing into the front of my glass every day. A bird. St. Louis cardinal.
Okay.
A red bird.
Sure.
Fucking
They're
like
killers.
angry. They're fucking psycho. This bird thinks his reflection is another bird, and he's an alpha, and he's attacking the window. Yeah, but I can't get into a position where I can shoot him without like shooting at my window. Like, so I need Tim to like camp out somewhere and pop him with a 22. I just bought a Winchester Wildcat specifically. I never owned a 22 before because I was like, why?
I will say this company just sent me an air rifle.
Hey, I need some legit iguana python killing power.
Oh, I'll connect. Okay. After this, I'll connect.
But so why would you not just buy a 22?
So in like Miami, for instance, example, and Florida Everglades, when you're in the waterways, you're inside city limits, so you can't shoot a firearm. And like if I'm on a golf course and I'm going to go help that golf course with iguanas or snakes that are just trashing their property, an invasive species, non-indigenous, and like destroying the habitat there. It's
air gun, baby.
So, but that's just legally like what you have to do.
Yeah,
obviously, your first preference would be.
It's better than a 22, though. Those things are coming out cooking. He showed me some videos of him taking out squirrels.
Yeah. Oof. Just know that I'm not being a jerk. I'm pulling up all the things that cardinals kill.
Your cardinals are maniacs, dude. So I got this one dude that's got to get got.
Yeah. So here we go. These things are just absolute
I've seen
pricks.
those before. Didn't know what it was
They're
called.
super territorial and aggressive. Yeah.
It killed
and it lives in one of your trees.
I assume so because every morning I got 3 big, like 3 big bay windows, and he just goes from window to window, smashing them. Not without. I'm not just being a dick. Like the trim of the window's cracking off from the impact every day of this psychotic bird. I don't think he can quite damage the glass, but
get some of that Expel 3M shatterproof film.
But that goes on the inside. Right?
No, you can do both.
Oh, you can put it on both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like all the film that I have on the outside that makes my windows look super trash right now. They're tearing all that stuff off, which was entry-proof stuff, and we're putting on bullet-resistant and entry-proof. So like you show up to my building, bring a chainsaw.
What does bullet-resistant mean?
So it'll be like glass film.
Yeah.
And so when that bullet, like the Tesla truck.
I remember that not working so good.
Yeah, nothing's bulletproof.
Well, yeah.
No, it is good against
level
pistol
3,
ammunition.
right?
Yeah. So like think level
so
3.
This is a film that can give you level 3 caliber stopping power?
Safe Life?
The Safe Life one, that's like their concealable
I think it's
level 4. It is comfortable.
That's a level 4?
Yeah, the big one. Yep.
Yeah, but that's still a very
I can wear that underneath a jacket.
The level 4 that I have is a giant fucking plate
Safe
carrier.
Life came out with an amazing one.
What? Okay, we need to talk.
You pay for it. Though.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? What is that?
$1,500.
I think I must have spent $5-6 on the old school plates and carrier.
Oh, that thing weighs nothing.
What do you get shelf life?
5 or 10?
Yeah,
is there really a shelf life?
Well, actually, that's a question for him. They tell you every vest comes with a shelf life. Yeah. What does that really mean?
So as we have plastics and fibers that are interwoven.
Yeah.
So over time, anything is going to degrade.
Degrade, as in they just can't warranty that it will quite stop,
so
but it doesn't like crumble to nothing and provide no stopping power.
Right. They had some underwriter insurance company come and say this is going to stop this thing.
Yep.
So they have to for this duration.
There's a shelf life.
Yeah.
Period.
And
would you trust an older vest of yours?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any vest is better than no vest, but.
But I mean, like a 20-year-old, my dad's vest from being a police officer, like is still going to stop bullets.
Yeah, and keep in mind he sweated in it and all that stuff, and it's still
30 years ago. Yeah. It's fine.
And it's been sitting there.
Yeah. Your dad's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
He makes him look small.
Yeah. I'm the midget in my family by a significant.
I don't think we say that anymore, Tim.
I'm the small person. Yeah. I'm the small person with by a significant margin.
Well, I've never met your brothers, but your dad is.
I saw your dad next to you. I was like,
my brother's the same as my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got gypped.
Yeah.
I mean, kinda.
You didn't
for
eat
your
Wheaties.
And intelligence and
look.
Yeah, but for your career path, it was kind of an asset being low center of gravity, hard to take down.
That was an adjusted career path. When my dad was like, "You can't swim. You're not going to be over 6'1". Go do something else."
Cage fight.
Well, that's not what he was saying. But as a second-born child, that's what I heard him say when he's like, "You're not so polished to follow in my given talented footsteps. Go do something else." I was like, "Fine."
Yeah.
Do what I'm gonna
watch
do.
me now.
I'm gonna go cage fight.
Watch what I'm gonna do now.
What's harder then? Getting ready for a cage fight or going on a special ops?
Oh, they're just so different, and they're both so hard. Both of them, and this is my what I love so much about it is you can't fake, you can't exaggerate performance in something that is exclusively metric based, which both special operations and fighting are. Mm-hmm. So you saw me go to beating Michael Bisping and champions like Robbie Lawler, and close losses to the Luke Rockholds and the Jacare Souzas in title fights. Some that I thought I won, but razor close title eliminators, title fights, title contenders. And you can't fake your way to that.
No. You're gonna blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right.
And no one can take it for you.
Nope. Similarly, you going to special operations or military schools, you're being peered, you're being judged, and there is a grade sheet that they publish. This is what they're going to grade you on, and you either meet the standard or you don't. I'm not training this time. I'm exclusively training to standard. And when you're going to go on missions, you have to take all of that time, blood, sweat, and tears, like you said, and apply it to a very specific thing, which is just metric based, which is why I loved it. Just love it.
What made you stop fighting?
Age. Yeah.
Just finally caught up?
Yeah. I just couldn't, and I still...
You still practice?
Yeah, I still train so heavily and regularly, but here we have, we're at Gracie Maida Cedar Park, Giancarlo Bedoni, who is the 2-time ADCC world champion. He teaches here. And I'll go and train with him at New Wave. We're about the same size. And I think technically he is now superior in what he can do technique-wise. But that's not the disparity. Because maybe he is he can pull things 1 or 2%, pull off 1 or 2% more than I can. But the delta from what he can do physically compared to what I can do physically.
You're just a different machine.
No, he's so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in his 20s. Gotcha. The timing's still there, the endurance still there, the explosive speed and responsiveness is still there. And I know what I want to do, I just can't do it. And there's times where I've crawled off the mat, so exhausted, trying to keep up with something that he could have just kept on doing. The Gordon Ryans and the Marigellis and the Luke Griffins and the here in Austin, the list just goes on and on and on of all of these guys that, not just youth, but they've just evolved past where I could progress from or to.
You miss it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Would you fight Jake Paul?
Yes.
Would you kill him, please?
In an MMA fight or?
Do you really think it matters, honestly? Do you really think that you couldn't lace up boxing gloves and hold your own in a purely boxing match?
Really? Think so? Yeah, I think he's a really good boxer.
I know a thing or two about boxing.
Yeah.
He is. Anybody who puts in the time can be a good enough club fighter. But you put him in against a world-class boxer.
A 46-year-old is different than him stepping in with...
Yeah, but you lose the speed, but you don't lose power. You're a strong fella. Yep. You have a chin.
You lose the spin, you lose the speed, you lose the timing, and you lose your chin.
You think you lost your timing? Can't you just stand in front of a speed bag
with
and still...
age? No.
Really?
Timing is not me timing a punch. Timing is me seeing something, processing what the thing is that I see, telling my body how I need to react to that thing and then doing it. That's timing. And that happens so instinctively fast. When you're young.
Your synapses are just firing.
That myelin tissue.
But I still disagree with you. I don't accept this
Well,
answer.
I really appreciate that.
I really don't accept this answer. You're making me depressed.
With
who?
With Tim.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, but a 240-pound has been fighting now for 10 years professionally.
What are you, 225?
Yeah. So I'm 215. So
you can eat a couple hot dogs and some.
Yeah.
Well, so what about if we set up a sparring exhibition between two business partners, and you were able to do exactly that and walk away with like a $40 million payday? Does that sound good?
Man, I don't think I'd ever want to get hit in the head for money again.
Is that bad?
No, just.
Do you think Tyson got hit in the head ever once? Yeah, legitimately?
Did it
look like he got hit for real?
No.
Did it look like?
Yeah, whole thing was like.
It feels like it was staged.
Yeah, it was staged.
It was sparring. There was sparring between an older guy who can guide a younger guy, and it was come on, everybody.
If I'm 79 and I had $40 million in the bank, and they say you're going to die this year, or you're going to end up with Alzheimer's, ALS, would I spend $40 million to have another year of life to see my grandkids?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no
right? No brainer. Yeah. Easy decision.
Yeah.
So now at, late 40s, can I not just spend that money now and be like, no, I'm not going to get hit in the head because I want to protect time. Yeah.
I mean, the damage, whatever damage, it's
already
done, man. I mean, you're still coherent and
there's plenty.
You're still jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah, but he does.
But I get to land really soft.
Yeah, I guess you don't hit your head.
Yeah.
If everything goes
you
well.
might break a leg, but that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I jump a big parachute, and I jump in pretty controlled settings now.
So you keep it nice and.
Oh, yeah.
Have you done that with him yet?
I haven't jumped out of a plane ever.
Ever.
Why?
I
don't know.
Okay, so clearly you and I are always aligned.
Yeah.
That's my reaction when they were talking about it. But now I'm on the fence. I kind of feel like it's something I have to do.
With him?
I think that's the only way I could probably do it and not lose my
He's going to do like 50 flips though. You're going to puke.
No.
He wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't.
Maybe two.
Because I enjoy it. I think it's beautiful and it's cathartic. And it's a thing that you can't think of anything else. Just like jujitsu. Like one of the many reasons I love jujitsu is like you have to be 100%.
You're not daydreaming.
That's right. I'm attentive into the thing that I'm doing in that moment. It's like all of the other crap that's happening.
You're able to finally turn it off.
Yeah, just the noise is gone.
How long's the free fall from the time you pop out?
A minute.
Okay.
2 minutes.
And then once you pull the chute, like another 5 to 10 down?
Yeah. Yeah, we do like a 14,000 jump.
And this is not 1945. This is like you've got backups on backups. You've got redundancy.
Yeah.
Like
we're not jumping like some crap plane on some lame drop zone.
Have you seen the show Rogue Heroes yet?
Mm-mm.
It's about the creation of the SAS.
Mm-hmm.
It's you will love it. It's EP turned me on to it, or Mark. It's so awesome. But what I'm thinking of is there's like a scene in that where they're jumping and it goes really badly in the desert. And they're like, nobody jumps over desert. And like, we know, that's why we're doing it. And they didn't know what they were doing at first.
Didn't go as planned.
No, but it ends up leading to the creation of the SAS. It's pretty awesome. It's my 2 cents. It's a good show. Not that you have a ton of time to watch shows.
Yeah, I do have EP's current reading list, and I'm burning through that. And How Much Do We Love Mark? As I'm working through my Land Cruiser build out, that guy he just knows so much about so much.
So to that point where I had him at my house a couple weeks ago, and me.
So sorry,
we were all fucked up. We're here now.
Yeah.
It was I wasn't feeling good. All of a sudden, I just fucking came down with something. He's in my kitchen making me hot toddies. He's got a custom hot toddy recipe that is the best fucking hot toddy I've ever had, and he's making it for my whole family, just hanging out.
Yeah.
You know. Just
What's a hot toddy?
It's whiskey, tea, lemon, ginger, and then another 14 different proprietary ingredients that this fella puts in there.
Just if you're congested,
It just
Yeah,
close it out.
it just cleans you out.
Yeah. But the point being, somebody like this just standing in my kitchen making me hot toddies was pretty
Not a
fun.
bad day.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Because normally you're learning about hardening vehicles and everything else.
I'm sending him a picture of my Land Cruiser because I just got a new one because I just put the tent on there, so now I have to.
Is this end of days project, or this is just fun, or is this your?
This is fun. I'll show it to you. I mean,
oh, dude, it's awesome.
Okay, that's sick.
yeah,
It's awesome. But it's
And we're
guys
only
like you that are driving up the cost of all those old Land Cruisers. Now I can't go buy one.
No, you can't go buy one.
For a reasonable price. I was looking. I'm going to end up buying like a Dodge Ram Charger instead because they're still dirt cheap vintage Ram Chargers.
I have a Ford F-150 that I have a pop-up tent that goes on the back of it, and but I'm not a fan of top tents or bed tents. I'm a fan of a backpack with a sleeping bag and a tent with your kids. I think it really takes the adventure out of it. This is like some convenience and literally me and my 10-year-old are gonna go camp by the lake in that. And it's just like, I pull out my little goose drawer and I have a refrigerator.
It's pretty awesome.
And a cooker thing. And then like I have a twin size bed that's a bed on the top on top of my car.
And quick setup.
Yeah, it's a little different than stringing up
out
a
on the
tent.
floor.
Yeah. Which again is awesome, but yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Are you taking that to like Big Bend or anything?
I'm gonna. Like that's gonna be
That's got to be the goal, right? Yeah. Awesome. I got to work on a project like that. I need a non-EMPable vehicle. So what does that mean? I've heard that I've been told that means an 83 or below is really what that means. That has truly no
electronic ignitions
and fuel injection and all that.
Anything that has electronics to make decisions about how that combustion motor works is
you don't want.
It's got to go. The United States military has a bunch of Hueys that it keeps just stored.
Just in case.
Just good old analog.
Just good old, like flip the switch and pump the...
Look how excited he's getting. I know you can't wait for that day.
Dude. They talk about like AI and how fast it'd kill us. And like, have you been into Western North Carolina? Have you like gone into the Rockies? Have you like hung out with the Mormons in Utah? Have you like, I don't think when the people that write those articles, they just don't, and not that Sheepdog is like the one stop for everything preparation, but if you walked into any of these offices and you talk to the geekness of like this is a representation of a regular group of a large population of people.
That was a lot to unpack. This is okay. It's a sample. It's a viable sample of the general population.
That represents
is what you're saying.
a huge group of people that would be really hard to kill, that don't care about your computer or your drones, and like, cool, we got these drones, there's gonna be like 20 of them, and they're like all AI, and they know how to hunt off heat signatures. And I was like, yeah, but that guy's been shooting birds since he was 8 years old.
Taking out your drone will be easy.
Yeah, like that's a Tuesday with his uncle.
I mean,
give him a 22, it's going down.
I hope that's correct. That sounds great. That sounds like an awesome interpretation of this. But the anxious Josh is like,
but this is why we're friends with Tim.
Yeah, but I think he's right. But up to an inflection point where there's just nothing we can fucking do. We're just completely.
The cities are going to die.
Yeah, and the scary thing is that there's no cognizance of this from all the people that are actually doing the AI work. It's
I think they say in modeling, if you turned off the power grid, 80 to 90% of all Americans die.
Yeah, in what period of time? Like
it's like a year.
Fucking within a year.
Yeah.
Pretty scary statistic.
Yeah, you ready to move here?
All of those people are in the cities.
Of course, 100%.
Like my brother in Diana, Texas, he's fine.
He's gonna be all right.
He's gonna be just fine. My brother in California on their property with solar and well and plenty of analog, not to mention their ammo and like
everything
their
else.
Cattle and their life on the ranch. They're fine. I'm gonna be just fine.
I'm trying to get there, bro.
Yeah.
But you get there slowly but surely.
But this is like the free of fear thing. Like,
well, it's all. You're absolutely right. If you know that you've done everything you can do,
about
you're giddy. You're
the apocalypse.
How
free of fear are you if it was like
Do you think the apocalypse
civil
is
unrest?
actually going to happen?
No, of course not. We do have a vulnerable society.
Degrees of it.
Yeah.
Like, if you think that stability is this sure thing,
It's not.
just because we've been so lucky to have 200 whatever years of America working, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, I looked to 2016, the election, and the civil unrest immediately following, and how fragile of a society we are. And then I look to our enemies, our peer-level adversaries, the Chinas and the Russias and the Irans, the cartels. I would even include some corporations that are operating like a syndicated mob, criminal organization. So I think when people think war, they immediately think like state-on-state actors. Like, we as a society should really remove that. And I'm not talking just our peer-level adversaries, because that are states, as state-on-state, peer-level adversaries, which would include cartels, which would include actors, some corporations, and even some individuals that have net worths more significant than...
It's domestic? You mean American individuals?
Some of them, yeah. That don't have... So recognizing these threats, recognizing that, for example, just the civil unrest of 2016, or what happened with a flu, a virus that was so not dangerous, that broke an entire economy, that has destroyed a generation, that misrepresented, inaccurately showed. Do you see the new study that came out that the government's performance of COVID just dropped last week? Is very intentionally hidden. So the government rated how it did in 2020, 2021, and literally everything that your uncle said about masks not working and social distancing being useless, and how these specific medicines that at the time, if you mentioned on YouTube, would get you deplatformed. If you said that this came from a lab in Wuhan, that would be, every single one of those things proved to be accurate. Every one of those conspiracy theories. So recognizing from civil unrest to natural disasters like Hurricane Helene or fires in Hawaii, we are very vulnerable. But to hedge yourself against that is a little bit of preparation. And then you get a really cheesy grin like this, where you're like, oh man, it'd be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun.
Assuming that you're going to come out on okay.
I'm going to come out okay.
It would be great. Yeah, you might. I'm not confident yet. I don't know. If they start storming my property, I don't know that I'm yet ready. I just got to plant some landmines. Yeah, no, but even like I got to get solar in order. There's a lot to be truly prepared.
Yeah.
You, especially if you're coming from the outside, you're coming from the city. I'm a city boy, right? I grew up in Northeast. Like, you can't fathom how much to be that level of shit-eating grin. Like, I am ready. What it really takes. Like, I'm getting it underway. I've got another 6 months probably until all my checklists are. Yeah, it's a lot. Like,
battery wall.
Yep.
Solar panel.
And a generator.
And a generator.
You need double.
That's what I have. So, I mean, it's like...
What else? Yeah.
Bumping from that 500-gallon to 1,000-gallon propane tank.
Do you actually have a bunker?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
I got to get on. I'm working on it,
See, we were talking about this earlier. We're like, is a bunker worth it?
I don't know. Like,
you justified it in your head.
Mine was built as a tornado bunker that we just converted.
Yeah, but so you know that you have, again, like anything, there's no shortage of companies out there now selling all manner of bunkers and things that you, like, again, if you're uninitiated, how does a consumer, your average consumer who cares, make sense of all that noise and know even which product to buy? Yeah. Which one is just going to be a $50,000 convection oven for you to be in when the shit hits the fan versus one that's actually properly structured, ventilated, and all the rest of the things that have to happen for it to actually serve its purpose.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. So you need to tell me where I get a real...
But your solution is going to be different than my solution.
Sure.
And part of it is the journey that when you're going down that, as you're getting more information and you're learning more and you're watching this YouTube from a true expert, like I hang out with the Matts and the Yakos and the Sean Bradys.
Yeah.
And obviously in the industry of firearms and preparedness and self-preservation and individual responsibility, like those ideas are really complementary. So on the idea of sovereignty, like, well, I launched Apogee, so I'm educationally sovereign, like sheepdog response on the preparedness side. So like there are things that I did in my own ecosystem that I get to continually learn about as one, because I make sure I provide the best product available, but then so I'm also a subject matter expert in those things.
Yeah.
But there's so much to do on the communication side. Matt and I just filmed one a couple of days ago. There are so many people that are so much better. I don't have to be the expert on everything. Like I know people and I'm friends with people that get to tell me, just like I'm gonna help you, that and that's one of the best things about being on this journey is you start to make all these connections because you're not gonna survive by yourself. It'll ultimately be a group, this collective of talented people like this.
This is why he wants
but even literally like in your community, right? Like you literally, your neighbors and you are all unified.
That's right.
That's so, but even I'm alone on a ranch, right? Or a ranchette at this point, right? But those back 16 acres could turn into our own little, and that I believe that's the only real way to, you got to have a group.
A little lake that we stock. But then my whole community had to get on board with it because now we're spending HOA funds, which we took over. The HOA is, me and my 5 friends.
Yeah.
And, and then like the people that, in the 100-something houses that are in my community, like 75% of them are 100% read on and subscribe and value and appreciate. And by appreciate, like they're like, this is so cool that you do these things for us in our community, where I say, hey, here's our PACE plan. This is how we're going to be communicating. Here's places that we're going to be collectively using meat. You're going to take care. Oh, you got 20 chickens. I got 12 chickens. You got 15 chickens. As a community between these 100 houses, we have 1,000-something eggs that come out naturally. Like we sell eggs. We gross produce eggs just in my community, just as a single source. Then we got meat chickens. We have meat rabbits. We have a lake that we stock. And that's just this active preparation where then I just get this smile that I get to call Will, or I get to call Tim, or I get to call Jeremy. These are my neighbors that are so good at something that I'm not good at.
Yep.
I got 3 motorcycles that are kind of getting fixed right now. And a friend's doing that because he's so much better at it than I would. It would take me 10 hours to do it, and it's going to take him 15 minutes.
So what you're saying is people need other people.
You can't do it by yourself.
As much as we all want to be.
Oh, I got this bunker.
Yeah, as much as everybody wants to be a lone, tough guy.
No. It's not like the movies.
But so, all right, when are you buying that fucking property?
We'll go look at it when we go back later.
Good.
I like him here.
It's gotta. I like it. We need to get a lot of our people here out of other places.
And then we get a cuddle. Your wife might.
This is the promised land, man. This is, red ants aside. This is the land of milk and honey down here.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Lovely.
Yeah. Everybody I know that comes down here is like, yep, never leaving.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it. What's the most dangerous mission you've been on?
Most dangerous?
Your level of dangerous.
Afghanistan withdrawal.
That was pretty bad.
Yep.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah, that just could have gone any which way.
How long were you there?
There was 10 days total that Save Our Allies was operating, and I really just got the last few days, kind of like the peak. Like I missed people getting onto wheel wells of planes taking off. We were there for, a few days before the Abbey bombing, and then ultimately when they closed the gates. It was what a travesty and a miscarriage of justice for Americans. But
well, and all our.
Yeah, all of our assets.
Yeah, all of our allies, all of our people that stuck their neck out for us.
Yeah, that'd be up there. Even Israel, immediately following the terrorist attack by Hamas, when we went into Israel, that could have gone high and right fast. The Houthis and Hezbollah could have immediately joined into the fray, and like a multi-border invasion from
everybody.
No, just in 1967, right? All over again. Could have very easily been that rallying call.
And we were there getting Americans out. And
but for the lay person, right? Can you explain to me why you even needed to do that? And this is a very, why did a private sector nonprofit, have to step up and do all of that? Why were we not a fit? Yeah, well, again, like why was it even necessary for you to fill that void? Well, I'm talking about, I think Israel specifically, we were talking about like Doctors Without Borders and such, right? That we had to get out. I was talking about that, but talking about that primarily. Yeah. Just why? Because we're not talking about Afghanistan was a huge operation, right? In my view, what you were talking about in Israel was relatively small to get out, just a handful of people. How is it the U.S. State Department couldn't just do that, and we needed to supplement?
I mean, it's a government agency, and government agencies have bureaucracy that just makes them inefficient.
Sure.
Like we're small, we're nimble, we're the kind of expeditionary mindset. And when you have like the guys that get to do the on-ground operations far superior to any skills or techniques or understanding of anything, as a singleton that I would ever have, they are just so much more efficient to get it done. So from the State Department side, like they can't go into, this place immediately adjacent to Gaza and find, a pastor that was doing a thing, or even a pastor that was just there as a tourist to go into the Jordan River and be baptized where Jesus was baptized. Yep. And then his heart medication runs out. And now he's stuck in Israel because he can't get any flights because Delta and American shut everything down. So then it's just dangerous. Just to move a guy like that, that's something outside of the capability of the State Department. Like they can't get there, they can't get him, they can't find him. And then they can't.
So, but that's a universal truth in any theater of conflict. So ultimately, the only way to carry out this kind of exfil you're talking about is public-private partnerships. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way that this stuff happens.
Insert almost every type of. The government is just so ineffective. It's so inefficient, and the way that the founding fathers. As we have our beautiful Declaration of Independence right there and our Constitution right there, all the founding fighters, that their understanding of how a government can never do it, it should always be a private and then public partnership, which does not even necessarily include the government. Like that is the public and the private sector being like, our solution is going to be far superior to anything that any government could provide.
Sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it's just the way that they envisioned it. It's the way that we have personally experienced it. And for some reason, we just had been moving further and further away from that. But the pendulum is swinging back to rationale and logic. We hope.
We hope. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Everybody's talking about how Doge is going to be neutered and not able to actually do anything. Just a bunch of recommendations. But I certainly hope so.
What's the most surreal thing you've experienced on a mission?
So Afghanistan, we had like a pretty rough getting into this firebase, Anaconda, and then a pretty rough getting out of this firebase, Anaconda. And we were driving through this pass, and there was this agricultural community that had lived there, I'm just gonna guess for forever, since the beginning of time. And we had been like dealing with Taliban, and then we get into this free city, and they like walk up and they're hugging us, and my brain
just can't process.
Yeah, and my brain was my bell had been rung over the past week of sleep and fighting, and then to see that, I was like, humans are just the most beautiful things,
Well, but I think the current, that's an important story to tell, and I hear that a lot from Iraq to Afghanistan or wherever. You hear from folks on the ground that's how you were actually met with. I think that's been lost on the American people to a big extent. Your average millennial, Gen Z perception is that almost unilaterally you were some sort of colonizing force that was looked at by the natives as an invading force. But the reality from everybody I talked to was the vast majority of people were, thank you so much.
The only people that weren't wanted us dead.
And wanted to continue oppressing all those people that were saying, thank you, please, for freeing us. How do we write the narrative? How did the narrative get so fucked?
We just hadn't controlled who was saying it. And the people, not that, actually, that's the opposite of, the people that were, that had been perpetuating the ideas of what we were doing overseas, legacy media, that they were controlling the narrative. there should never be a control of a narrative. It should just be truth. And where people freely being able to talk about what was happening. Soldiers weren't able to do that.
Sure.
We didn't have forums or town halls like Twitter where you can just speak and then, the best idea exists and everybody else gets made fun of.
Well, we don't bully people anymore, Tim.
I don't know.
We don't do that anymore.
Bullying's still useful.
Absolutely. Well, that's an interesting line of questioning, right?
Yeah.
Like, we talk a lot about ego. Do you think you have a little bit of an ego?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that anyone on this planet doesn't?
No.
There's no such thing as an egoless human, right? Let alone to do the work that you needed to do, to be successful as a fighter, to be successful, to get through BUDS training.
Yeah. I didn't go through BUDS training.
No, okay. Yeah. I'm not suggesting you did. I'm just SEER school, whatever.
I feel now that I just have to immediately clarify.
I'm not saying I did that.
Explicitly clear. I cannot put 50 grenades in my sweatshirt.
Fit 15.
Yeah, I think I could get 15 in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the point being, like, you can't do any of it without having you can't make it through without having an ego and believing that no one's going to break you, right? Like, that's what we need you to be. And then we want to say, oh, we want to be critical that you have a little bit of an ego to complement your id. Like, what do you mean?
I don't understand any of it. I know that I love people that I've served with. I know I love the people I get to work with. I know I get to, like, the reason I still get to wear a uniform is because I'm absolutely hopelessly in love and proud of the young men and women that are choosing to serve. So I'm just, like, filled with gratefulness and appreciation for, like, how remarkable the people that are to my left and to the right have always been and are in uniform. It's pretty freaking rad.
How do we change the softness in men in America?
The only way, it's a little bit in your head and it's a little bit in the body, and those two things are so intertwined. You don't make a harder person by, like, preparing to do mentally challenging things. You do physically challenging things that have components of mental toughness in them, and the byproduct is that person becomes tougher and harder. So doing tough things makes you tough. That's it. Like, you go and talk to, it's so simple.
It's very true. Just making it through something,
yeah,
and seeing that you can, right?
I know you're a busy guy and you got a jet. Appreciate you coming on today, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun shooting tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we gonna shoot? What are we excited about, guys? Let's talk. Let's close out with a gun conversation. What are we most excited about? New stuff on the market.
22 to shoot.
I'll bring 4 suppressed 22s tomorrow.
Great. I'm going to bring the goofiest thing I bought in a long time, the Taurus Judge Home Defender with a 13-inch barrel for .410 and .45 long Colt. Why? I don't know, because it's fucking fun.
It works.
I'm super excited. All right.
God bless you guys.
Thanks, Boo.